Lab activity number 1, writing a program using a set reset flip-flop. You're going to start by first opening your Simatic Manager software and preparing your PLC for programming as we learned in module number 5. As you can see here, I have my hardware configuration loaded. Remember to change the addresses for my digital input, digital output to zeros. I've already compiled, I've already downloaded this. Next, I'm going to go back to my Simatic Manager, and you'll see that I named my program Module 7 Activity 1. The first thing we're going to do in coding our flip-flop is we want to create a symbol table. If you're at blocks, you'll simply go back to S7 Program and double-click on Symbols. Our first symbol is going to be Input 1, and it's going to have an address of I0.0. Our next symbol is going to be Input 2, which will have an address of I0.1. Notice how it gives that to me automatically. I'll hit Enter, scroll back. I need an output. This is going to be Output 1, which will be addressed. Now, outputs are addressed with a Q, and I'm going to use 0.0. I'll hit Enter, and we need a memory bit, and we name this memory bit, and this memory bit is going to be M0.0. Once I do this, click Save, and then I'm simply going to close this window. Then you'll go to Blocks, double click on OB1. I've already done that, and my programming window will open. Now the first thing we're going to do is we've got our network. I'm going to highlight my network. Then over here I want to choose BitLogic, and the SR flip-flop, the set reset flip-flop, is what I'm going to use. If my rung or my network here is highlighted, I can simply double click and it will appear on my network. Next, I'm going to click on the line connected to the S input, which is the set input. With that highlighted, I can simply come up here and click my normally open contact, and it will appear. I want to place a normally open contact on the reset input, and I also want to place an output coil. Now remember, this input, I named it, it's input 0.0. When I type that, notice that my symbol table pops up, and I want input 1, and I'll hit Enter. And then here, if I type I for input, you'll notice the symbol table pops up. I'll double click Input 2. For the flip-flop, I'm going to name that a memory bit. So if I type M, my symbol table pops up. I can simply double click memory bit. And for the output, if I click the question marks and type Q for the output, my symbol table opens, and I'll see that my output 1 is what I want. Here is my program. What I will do now is load my program to the PLC. It's asking me, it says block OB1 already exists. Do I want to override it? Yes. Now with the program loaded, I will come up here, and right here it says monitor on off the glasses. I will click that. The green here represents power, so I have power flowing to my input number 1. If you remember, my input number 1 should be my red push button on my workstation. As soon as I push the red push button, I energize the set reset flip-flop. Now I'm going to release the red push button, and notice how when I release, the power goes away. However, this is the set input, so I set the flip-flop, which makes the output come on. Looking at my PLC, output 0.0 is lit up, and that corresponds to the red light on my workstation. Now, I can push the red push button again, but nothing happens. The flip-flop is already set. However, input number 2, which is the yellow push button, if I push it, I reset the flip-flop, which turns the output off.